I always knew that I was born to bring upon change. I always knew that there was something that I needed to do, and it was far greater than what I could think of. I did not grow up saying I want to save women. To help has always been in me, and to impact and to change lives is something that's always been instilled in me.
People are given different gifts in life. I believe in achieving goals and having your future be a better place than the place I am at right now.
I hope to achieve the goals that I set for myself when I was a kid, to actually be a role model in someone's life.
Anything in life, it's all about just getting started. Forget about the complications and just get started.
I'm excited about this new era. It's like really exciting for me because how things are done now are very eye-opening.
I didn't want to do IT at school, ironically. I was more of a creative. My love for science fiction is what really got me into the tech and digital space. I love everything science fiction, so I love anything related to artificial intelligence. I love technology. I think that's what got me into the tech space or the digital space. I didn't really have an IT background, but subsequently I've become very interested in IT and technology.
An IT industry is not just an industry where people be sitting behind the computer. It's more than that. It's way more than that.
It's all about research, 4IR.
It's all about focus, technology, business analysis.
It's a space where even more so how you build your work on a computer, you have to relate to someone else. Let them know what is it that you've built there. Help them understand what is it that you built there.
Going into coding or IT was not my initial plan, especially in a male-dominated sector in IT.
Going into that space really doesn't daunt me, but I'm just there to do my thing at the end of the day. Like how the males are doing it, that's how I'll do it as well.
I'm still young, but I'm passionate about technology.
You have women that are leading tech companies that have made some serious impact in the world from a digital and tech space, that have got women coders, that have got women developers, that have got women CEOs, and how women can be part of the digital revolution, getting us into the future as women who are able to bring an element of intelligence into the world and tech space. You have very strong women who are coders in the industry. Kaizer Chiefs met PinkCodrs in 2016. A very exciting initiative that we were taking part in. We met with Mbali, who is Mbali Hlongwane, who's the founder of PinkCodrs.
Mbali Hlongwane is a young girl from Durban, Mlazi. I am a systems developer. Growing up in Durban, I had so many opportunities. I was part of the Innovate Durban Hackathon Challenge, where our team won 3rd place for a time machine concepts that we came up with. I also was nominated and received a Woman in Tech award in Durban. That obviously inspired me to look around the room and realize that there was just not enough women. I then packed my bags and came to Johannesburg, and that was the birth of PinkCodrs Africa. I just started by running meetups at Josie Hub, which was my idea of wanting to figure out why is there such a big gap in the IT space? Why are women shying away from it? And what are some of the challenges that women face when they are trying to get into the industry or they are in the industry? I always believe that PinkCodrs is far beyond Mbali Hlongwane. That then inspired one to start looking at how do we then speak to the needs, because majority of the time women either does not have enough skills or does not meet the criteria the industries require. Or just if they do, then there are just a number of challenges they also face within the organization, being a woman in tech. We started running a number of programs, and now I'm here as a founder of the organization PinkCodrs Africa.
We could see that there was something special about this organization. As women in the digital and tech and gaming space, her and I just connected very quickly because there are not very many women in that space in the room.
We had the Kaizer Chiefs club actually come to us and ask a few questions about what we were doing. I remember we ended up inviting Kemiso Mdawonge on stage to be part of the panelist that was actually part of our panel discussion on the day. We then had conversations about just women in tech tech and the future. And in that panel discussion, it was so interesting to hear what the club has already started doing.
Also the name PinkCodrs, it was like, okay, who are these people? PinkCodrs, what's up? So obviously they're developers or they're coders, but what's the pink thing? So it was clear that there is a female-focused energy here. From there, we then built a relationship and finally got into the PinkCodrs partnership, which we took to the next level of working with the Chiefs brand from a digital and tech perspective.
We naturally started building a relationship with the club, and the club got really passionate about some of the work that we were doing, and that then was how we officially launched our partnership with Kaizer Chiefs, and we started really implementing the number of programs that we had been working on.
It's important that the club has a holistic view on content, digital and technology and where we're going. And for us to have that holistic view, we need to make sure that we have the right resources in our team. We work very closely with the IT departments. IT is a big element of the company, and we are part of the team that is behind the digitization and digitalization of the club's operations. When we say that, we're talking about the external services that we put out to our supporters, whether that be an app or whether it's other digital services, and then also looking at the internal services that we work with the IT department on. It also includes working with data, analyzing data, and interacting with that data and making analysis or inferences from that data. So it's multifaceted, and I think that's very important. The PinkCodrs partnership is a very special initiative. It is us as Kaizer Chiefs coming together with a women-owned organization that basically empowers young girls in the coding and development space. If you allow and you teach young girls to code from an early age, you allow them to be able to have the playing fields level. They're able to work with their male counterparts, and these two can then create these amazing solutions and amazing technologies that we need.
We live in an era that is constantly changing, and if we're living behind an entire generation of women, then the future already does not look good for us. And if we're not positioning our women accordingly, then I foresee us in a generation where we're still living in the same kind of way, because we are not even exposing some of these women that don't even know about it, how to get into the space.
We selected 20 girls to come forward and go under a 4-month data management course. They were trained in the data space to become data analysts, to understand data, to work with data.
The selection process or criteria was pretty easy. We basically went through a process of, these are the kind of ladies that we're looking for. We need them to have ABCD in terms of skill sets. We needed problem solvers. We needed women that were determined. We needed people with metric. And we received, I think, over 100 CVs. This is with Kaizer Chiefs marketing online.
Social media is a big component of the work that we do, and it's very, very important because it is current. It allows us to engage in very real-time reactions from our people.
I found the PinkCodrs program on the Kaizer Chiefs Instagram page. I was just chilling at the mall, at the restaurant, going through my feed when I came across the post, and I was like, I'm doing IT.
The first saw status, she was like, all the females that want to enroll in a coding program, please go for it.
I found out about PinkCodrs through my husband. He saw the post actually on Facebook. Kaizer Chiefs page posted.
I was going into a salon this other day. There was one of the ladies who represent PinkCodrs. We were asking about hair. And then this lady was like, no, wait a minute, what are you guys studying? And we told her we're studying IT and systems development.
And I was also interested, and I just researched about PinkCodrs, and I found out that they're a company, IT company, mainly specializing in software development, who are all about women empowerment, you know.
That's when she was like, there's this program Kaizer Chiefs is conducting that supports women in IT. Are you guys willing to do it? We're like, yeah, because we had Kaizer Chiefs, we're so excited. That's how PinkCodrs started to explain to us that they are now supporting women and they want to build women.
We wanted an unconventional kind of setup for our program. We wanted people with background and people without background, because we wanted to tell a story at the end. To say, hey, listen, we took 3 ladies that had never seen coding before, that had no idea what data science was, and they are here now.
I did find in my CV. Then a few days later, I got a response like, okay, you're in. I think I was in my room in Res with my roommate. So I'm like, okay, girl, I'm in. I'm gonna be part of this coding program, I'm gonna do this. And then she was concerned, like, how are you gonna do this with your degrees, like almost exam time and stuff? I'm like, girl, I have to do this. It's for me. I don't know. I'd rather not sleep as long as I get something done,
It was just a chill Friday when I got the SMS and I screamed. I was like, yo, dear Lord, this is happening.
I was like, wow. It was just so refreshing, exciting. I couldn't even, I don't know, like when I told my dad about the opportunity, he was just like, Kaizer Chiefs, because it's his team, so he was just all excited.
My dad was actually quite happy as well. They were excited to see that after studying for so long, there are actually such opportunities as PinkCodrs.
The first time we met, founder of PinkCodrs, was at the Kaizer Chiefs village. That's where we also got to meet Gemiso and Jessica Mdown.
And what those meetups basically consisted of was conversations with young women around coding and technology. Young ladies were invited to come in to ask questions, to basically have conversations around what opportunities exist for them in the space of technology and data science.
The first session at the village was, for me, one of the most beautiful sessions that we had. We had Jessica and Gemiso Mdown actually at the village welcoming the ladies.
The first session, we met Jessica and Gemiso. It was like, wow, I also want to be like them, you know what I'm saying? So it was just so exciting. It just pushed a person to another level to just, work extra hard to ensure that an opportunity like this, would probably also land me a job in Kaizer Chiefs, who knows?
We met the other 20 ladies, we got a tour of the village. It was the first time encountering with everybody, so we all had the same goal, so everything was interesting about the journey going forward.
The ladies pitched, they were on time, commitment was also in their face, excitement was in their face. So we knew that we were about to have one interesting journey with these ladies. Majority of them had no background, because majority of them we obviously picked knowing some of them don't have experience, and we did that on purpose because we wanted to see if you gave somebody an opportunity who has no background versus somebody who's got background, what would be the impact. And it was so beautiful to see that even some of the ladies that had no background started Python and really was like, I'm so excited to get to the Python module. Some of the ladies had only seen maths in high school and they're like, this is pure mathematics, this is crazy. It was like an up and down situation for them. A majority of them wanted to give up. Majority of them were literally coming here, looking at their laptops like, what is this? I've never seen anything like this. This is a course that's taken by industry people that want to upskill themselves, so they don't even have any background.
The program, I won't lie, has been very challenging because data science is a whole new chapter of IT on its own. Because what I did was just coding and coding and coding. I've discovered there are a lot of tools that we can use to manipulate data, a lot of concepts, mathematics, statistics.
Some of the sessions are, they flow, but some of the sessions can be very intense because some modules are things that you've never seen in your life, and it's supposed to be self-study. Yes, we do have support. There's facilitators that sometimes come in to help us with whatever we may be struggling with. At the end of the day, you are sort of forced to open up and engage with other people and just understand how they think. And in that way, it also helps you, do your work in a better way. It allows for one to just work on their people skill, engage, and you just sort of learn different things about different people, learn to work in a team.
The harder the topic gets, the more stressful it gets as well, because you're not just trying to balance PinkCodrs alone. You have home, you have work, you have school. Sometimes you feel like giving up, but you're like, I can't, I'm unable to can. And then you need to continue. Some days are difficult than others. Sometimes you understand the material more than other days, but it's a matter of just trying to get to the finish line.
It was pretty difficult because it was like self-taught. I had to go through the videos myself. I had to figure out solutions myself. Unlike going to campus where you go in front of the lecture teaches you these things, then you go reflect on yourself. But this one I had to make time for it and go through it and have like 20 times in order for me to understand before taking the exam for that specific module, before moving on to the next module. So it was quite challenging because I had to make the time. It got frustrating when I didn't understand, but also I had the other ladies who I could ask, like, okay, how did you do this? How do you think can I go about it for me to figure it out? Because there are moments where I'm really sad, not feeling okay. I'm feeling a bit pressured with schoolwork and having to finish the course. But when I get there, I'm gonna have a good time. There's gonna be some change. I'll move on to the next module because they were there to help me. Like, no, you should have done this, or I can help the next person. Like, no, it's okay. We actually can work this thing out. So it was really great. I'm really glad that I've met them actually, because I'm friends with some of them right now.
The most beautiful thing is that the sisterhood that the ladies have just managed to build, and I would not even take credit for that, something they have built by themselves. I've always encouraged them to say, use the people around you. The people that are around you are the people that understand you better. They will not really go through the same challenges with you, but they are going through life with you. So if you guys are all in a data science program and you're going through things, it will be wise to contact one of the ladies to be like, hey, this is what I'm currently going through, who can either motivate you or inspire you, or just help you carry the load.
These 20 women, I think their lives changed over that period of time. Not only were they associated with Kaizer Chiefs, and not only were they given a chance as young women, they obviously got to interact with each other. They got to learn things they had never learned before, and we got a really good way of getting them even a practical element of the partnership, where they were able to come and be part of the Kaizer Chiefs derby, and we used the derby as a case study for them to be able to work with our data, whether it's working in terms of data gathering, collection of data, correlating all of that data, putting it together, working on analysis and BI or business intelligence, and come back and give the club a report.
The derby is the biggest game to pull data. Where else can you pull numbers from outside of the game that is obviously seen by everyone, and brands have invested, and all the partners and sponsors have all these crazy things that are happening at the day. But we want to take 20 data scientists to the game and try and find things that the club has not seen. And we then had the ladies literally study the data, understand where it comes from, how it's structured, and how the reporting back is basically done.
It's quite exciting to see Kaizer Chiefs involved in such an initiative. You would not think that a sporting fraternity that has the longest of history of impact in our communities being involved in the sculpting and the building of young women. But it also gives an indication as to how technology is shifting every industry. Remember, technology is an enabler. It's not an industry per se, it's an enabler of other industries, for other industries to function. So for Kaizer Chiefs to get dirty with us non-profit entities on the ground is an absolute joy to see, first of all. Secondly, it means they're paying attention, they're on the pulse as to what needs to happen in our country.
With the Kaizer Chiefs being such a reputable brand, it's very well known in South Africa. It's very promising to see that they are investing in this kind of development. Because Kaizer Chiefs is a trusted brand and they're sharing a trusted or a reputable message, people are far more likely to trust the brand going forward, because it shows, real intent, real interest in the development.
We're not just talking women in sport, we're talking about women who shape sport from different varieties of sectors. And that's a very important conversation to have, and they've started it. I commend them for really getting involved and for actually spearheading this conversation within the sporting fraternity.
And for us, it was actually quite an educational initiative for us, even as a club, because it allowed us to get some insights into the work that we do. And it was great that we had this young group of women that were outside of us, but actually still part of the club, giving this perspective.
Working on this course has greatly impacted my life. Being in a space where IT is usually meant for men, and then you see other women, and sometimes you'll be thinking, it's just IT, I can just tackle it like anything else. And then there's that one girl who just comes up, and then they have this new term, this new perspective of how they view IT, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm slacking behind. So it drives me, I don't want to lie. They are very challenging. They are very challenging because their diversity now, it makes the atmosphere more adaptable.
The PinkCodrs program for me has opened a lot of doors, opened a lot of possibilities. Young girls will look up to women like us who are part of the program to say, if they're able to do it, I'm also able to do it, especially in a male-dominated sector in IT. You never hear about the journey most of the time, but what matters is the destination and the blood and sweat put into it.
It's really something great because every time you're like coding, you'll never imagine a female doing it. It's always like male dominated. So bringing women into this space is really eye-opening. Like, women can also do this, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
You can't take this lightly, you just have to make sure that you attend all the sessions and just give it your best. So to just have an opportunity like that open to any female who's just willing and passionate about technology, it was just so exciting for me to think that there's some companies that actually do this for young people. It was so exciting, and I was just like, I'm not gonna let it slide, and I was just grateful to know PinkCodrs.
My advice to young women and young people out there is to grab the opportunities that exist around them with all of their might and energy. Never ever think that something is owed to you. It isn't. The partnership has allowed us to broaden our horizons, broaden our thinking, expand into a different space. For Kaizer Chiefs, education is a key pillar, and that is education of women and men, boys and girls, and the community at large. And working very much on our youth strategy, I think what's nice about it is that Kaizer Chiefs are looking to say, we have got footballers, we've got coaches, we've got marketing staff, we've got admin people, we've got all these different departments, and then we want to make sure that we have a coding and development space. So you may not necessarily be a great footballer or a great coach, but there is a career and an avenue in which you can work at a club like Kaizer Chiefs. And even in the sports world, you need technology, you need software, you need solutions. So we have 20 young ladies who have gone through this data science course. They are now qualified data scientists, and they're able to really work with data, analyze it, and become integral in the business intelligence of data. So initiatives like PinkCodrs allow us to be part of what's happening, educate ourselves, and then allow ourselves to educate others and go into this together. So PinkCodrs was a very important initiative, and I think we got some really great results from the whole thing. I definitely believe that programs like this will inspire other young people and older, whatever age group. I think this type of program will show people that it's possible.
It's really not about where one comes from. It's just about what the opportunity can do for someone else. There's so much that we can do using technology to change the lives of women. I've seen just from a number of the programs that we've been running how it literally changes someone's life. The opportunity that you can give to somebody can really change their life. This is not where it ends, but I think I have another 15, 20 years to run with PinkCodrs to really get it to that point where our women are well positioned, our women are all skilled. For me, it's because we understand that technology is not about where you come from. It's about what can you do. There's so many more women who we want to have stories with. I think I've been most blessed this year, but more than that, I just realized how much more we can do, how much more one still needs to do. And I'm excited by where we're going to go next, and just the different lives and the different women's lives we're going to change through this number of programs that we're doing, because we're able to impact 20 lives, which is going to be families, which is going to be past what we already see and what the numbers that we can already think of.
Yeah, I thank Kaizer Chiefs and PinkCodrs for the opportunity that they gave me and for opening up also my mind to be a giving person.
Life is not perfect, but whatever you set your mind to and you tell yourself that you wake up and do this and this and that, it does come to pass so long as you put in the work, you put in the effort.
And I wish they could do this for more women out there and expose them to the tech space industry, because it's where the world is shifting to. So if we are able to uplift more women and scaling them, the world will be a better place.
I'm actually thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful that they took time to actually try and liberate women, young women for that matter.
I just wanted to give a big shout out to the young ladies that took part in the Kaizer Chiefs PinkCodrs Data Science course. You 20 young women are amazing, and you are part of the Kaizer Chiefs family forever, for life.
Thank you so much just for being resilient. Thank you so much for being passionate. Thank you so much for making us realize that opportunities can change lives.
I just want to say thank you for taking the lead. Thank you for taking the bull by its horns. Thank you for believing in yourselves. Whatever you do, go out there and do the best that you can do. Don't ever let anybody bring you down. Don't ever let someone tell you that you cannot do something when you know you can. Make sure you remember you're always and will be Amakosi for life.